And now here's Barry Norman to introduce our late film, the Saturday movie classic.
Good evening. Katharine Hepburn was hanging around somewhere at the back of the endless queue of actresses waiting to be tested for the role of Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind, a part for which she'd have been quite unsuited, when the playwright Philip Barry said he'd like to write a play for her. What he wrote was the Philadelphia story, an immediate success which won for Miss Hepburn, of whom Dorothy Parker had said only a few years previously, she runs the gamut of emotions from A to B, the New York Drama Critics Award. Now, Miss Hepburn had put up a quarter of the money for the play herself and acquired the film rights, which she then took to Louis B. Mayer at MGM. And Mayer wanted the property so much that even though the leading lady had been labelled box office poison by movie exhibitors, he gave her a contract with script approval and choice of director and leading men. The director was George Cukor, and the leading men were Cary Grant and James Stewart. Grant, having top billing, was given the choice of roles and picked the wrong one because it was Stewart who walked off with the Academy Award for Best Actor, an event which, as he later recalled, deeply impressed his father.
The night that I won the Oscar, he called me very late and said that he thought it was fine and that I should send it back to the hardware store and he'd put it on the knife counter. And that's what I did, and it stayed there for 20 years under a cheese bell.
And what better place for it? As a matter of fact, Cary Grant wasn't even nominated that year, 1940, which was a grave oversight because his performance was well-nigh perfect. Of the film's other Oscar nominees, Miss Hepburn, George Cukor, supporting actress Ruth Hussey, and scriptwriter Donald Ogden Stewart, only Mr. Stewart won. Well, as we know, Oscar doesn't always go to the most deserving people, but even so, it wasn't a bad haul. The Philadelphia story is one of the very best examples of the kind of sharp, sophisticated comedy that Hollywood turned out so prolifically in the 1930s. And as you'll recall, it was later turned into a musical high society, with Grace Kelly, Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra, which is also a classic of its kind. To extract two great films from one play is a commendable example of thrift. But now, settle back and enjoy the Philadelphia story, of which the New York Times said it has just about everything that a blue-chip comedy should have, and the New York Times was not wrong.